He's gone to the toilet. We're going to watch him go to the loo now. This is going to be quite awkward.
That's right. But that could be bad. Oh yeah, he's going in there. Oh no,
this
is awful.
The brown car guy. Brown car guy.
Kelly is awesome.
Oh yeah, he texted me. He said, Tim, watch this. You'll find it really interesting. So I watched it last night on the bog.
Did you?
I don't know what to make of that. I thought that was going to be a compliment. And
yeah, you shouldn't sit on the loo for that long. You know, you'll have a prolapse.
I know you shouldn't leave it open for that long. I know. I've been told.
It's not healthy,
especially at your age now.
I know.
You're in the risky zone now.
Turning myself inside out. I know.
Stop that awful toilet conversation.
Yep, absolutely. Start a new one once we're recording.
I think we're recording. We're on. We're on. Yeah, we're on. I think we're on. How are you guys?
I'm
good.
on.
How's you?
How are you? Are you on? Yeah, we're all on. Hello. Shazad, how are you, mate? Let me see your hat. Come on, come down a little bit there. There you go. That's what we're talking about.
I was gonna get you one. Did I not send you one? I thought I was gonna send you one of these hats.
No, I mean, because I am brown and a car guy, so you know, I think it would really suit me.
Hang on, I tell you. I need to get my fake tan out.
Yeah, well, no, I think if you stay in the sun long enough, it'll probably be the. You know, Fuzz, we have another thing in common.
What's that?
First crush.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Really?
Dame Joanna.
Come on.
Or as I call her, Joe.
Oh God.
Well, you know, I think haven't you just reached the pinnacle? You and Joanna Lumley in a convertible red sports car together, driving off into. I mean, why are you even bothering to carry on now?
And me limping off. Right. Me limping off in the background.
That's it. Let me tell you though that when I pushed Tim out of the way at the end, he fell and he did actually break his rib.
I broke a rib, man.
That's how badly I wanted to get rid of him.
There it is.
Oh, there you go. You can join the club.
Yeah, excellent. There you go.
There you go. A broken rib, I think, is worth it. Come on, a broken rib would be worth it. So with Joanna Lumley, was it Purdy? Was it the New Avengers for you?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, for me, because I mean that's the era. You know, around 1975, 76. Yeah. I think all the cars supplied to them by British Leyland. Yeah. Things like SD1s and TR7s and stuff like that. It was great. You know, that was a time when you believed that those cars were the most brilliant cars in the world, and because you believed it, they were.
But also, don't you guys think that at that time, when you had these TV shows, and the New Avengers were one of the great British TV shows, but all of the shows at the time, 70s and 80s, they always matched the cars to the personalities of the characters, right?
Yeah.
That's right, exactly that. Yeah,
they don't feature anymore, do they? It's a really sad thing. Cars have been such a big part of our culture growing up. You know, it's sort of spoon-fed, force-fed. You know, find me a young man or a young girl who grew up watching 70s, 80s, 90s television who didn't have some sort of love for a vehicle. Does that happen anymore? My kids have no interest in them.
Yeah, it makes me think. I wonder what car I'd put Tim Shaw in, because he's on the telly. What would I put? Kia Pride, 1989 Kia Pride.
No, Lada Riva.
Oh, well, maybe a Lada Riva.
Failed its MOT when it came into the country first. That would be me.
Okay.
Or a Sinclair C5. A Sinclair C5.
Well, you can't do many car chases in a Sinclair C5. You have to pedal really hard.
I know. Yeah. Fuzz would put me on a motorway in the fast lane in one.
I've ridden a couple. Do you ride or drive a C5? But anyway, I've driven a couple of C5s, and I would suggest that for no other reason other than the reaction from other road users, they're probably the most dangerous vehicle I have ever taken out on the open roads, because people seem to just want to force you into the gutter and really cut you up. They seem to make people angry. I don't know why. I like them.
I think what happens is that when you have a car or something that's unusual on the road, then people naturally look at it. And when you look at something, you stare towards it. So I think that's what's kind of happening. And you feel very vulnerable in something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, blimey, yeah.
Is it a Kia Soul? I'd have him in the Kia Soul so he and his wife can stare out the window and go, look at our Soul.
I think that's quite funky, actually, a Kia Soul. I think that's all right.
I'd have one
You
of
missed
those.
the gag. You missed the
Yeah,
gag.
yeah.
The
No,
arsehole.
the gag backfired on you.
No, it
No,
didn't.
we
missed it.
both thought and went, yeah,
No,
that'd be cool.
Shaz
Yeah,
missed
we'll have
it.
one of those.
No, I just thought it's fine.
No.
I thought that's cool.
No.
Got
I
sold.
mean, you know, not
Rubbish.
everybody's into puerile humour, you see, Tim. But there we go.
Mate, I've made a career of working on television with you laughing at it. So yes, you are.
There you go. So Series 14, guys. Series 14. Are you still filming
no.
it, by the way?
Yep.
Yeah, well, we're still filming today. We're filming the last reveal of season 14.
Yeah. And I'm half an hour away, and I'm supposed to be there at 2. So what time is it? So I'm going to get.
I'm looking at the car. I can see it. There it is.
You go.
Can you actually? I'm not. I'm here with my bags open.
Is that your wardrobe?
Petrol station. Yeah, my wardrobe's here. That's it. That's the wardrobe. I've got.
Actually, no. Talking of wardrobes.
There's
my pillow.
There you go, Shaz. There you go. There's the car. Look, quick
Sneak
there
preview.
It is. Oh, it's gone now.
Oh, well, I want to see that. Jacket.
But talking of wardrobe, Tim. I mean, the kind of directors that you work with, do they normally dress in these stripy trousers and all of this sort of?
No, that's his mum, Shaz, actually. That's his mum that dresses him.
Do you know what happens? On the night before the reveal, I actually just hit TK Maxx. I fly into TK Maxx. I've always got a I'll show you. Look. I've always got a TK Maxx back. Look, there's one. What we got here? Oh, look, stolen cereal from breakfast this morning for the kids. Anyway, I hit TK Maxx. I think that one was somewhere in Oxford. And I found those horrific. I go in there with a view to finding the worst outfit ever.
So he gets the bag, and then he gets the TK Maxx bag, and then he goes to Edinburgh Woolen Mill, and then gets his clothes from there. Well,
I spent 2 hours trying to get Fuzz's car keys so I could get into his house and raid his wardrobe. But unfortunately, he hangs on to those, so I have to go and buy. I go straight to the clearance section and buy the worst stuff, which I'll tell you, and Fuzz will confirm this. I wear it, and then Fuzz at the end goes, "I'm having those trousers." You did.
Yeah, I did, but you never gave me those trousers. Those stripy ones, the blue and white stripy ones.
The blue and white one.
They're in a charity shop in Oldham about a year ago.
Really?
They're probably still there for about
$5. I wanted them. I wanted them. Why did you do that? I'd have given some money to charity.
I didn't want to get my see-through chicken drumsticks out in front of you, so I thought I'll just wear them home.
Other department stores are available. Let me just ask you about the Rover.
Well, hang on. On that note, they're not. They've all gone.
Well,
We've only got M&S left now. Debenhams has gone. Rackham's has gone. C&A has gone.
No C&A. I remember C&A. Anyway, back to cars. I wanted to ask you about this Rover P4 project. What's that about?
Interesting one.
Well, the Rover P4 is for a very special person who I think we can probably say now, can we? I think so. Yeah. So Reverend Adam, is it Gopertz? Yeah. And he does a lot for people in the car community who may be having sort of serious mental health issues and stuff and need to talk. And so he had an idea of providing a space where people could talk. Somewhere that they sort of go to, that actually be attracted to, and so he'd had this idea about his car, but little did he know that his wife got in touch with us and made it happen. So it was his vision. It's always been his vision, and now he's got his rather racy looking P4. Because let's face it, P4s are not the raciest of cars. So he's got his rather cool looking P4 now, which will draw people to it. And do you know? Come on, mention it. If that just makes the seat. Well, that's right. So it's got a sort of neat front passenger seat, which normally in its normal position is facing forwards in the way that a normal seat does. But in a stroke of genius, it does like a little shift around so that the seat back becomes the base and the base becomes the back. Idea. And so you can talk eye to eye with the person that's come into the car. So you can be eye to eye, face to face, and that's the best way to have a conversation. Because otherwise it would be like being in a taxi, wouldn't it?
I mean, that's interesting because they do say that one of the greatest places to have difficult conversations is in a car. because you don't have to have.
Cars.
No, well, unfortunately, I don't. I mean, you say that we all do this. They say, "Who are they, Shaz? Come on, who's they?"
Who's they? I don't
People
know.
that suit your argument.
There's the mysterious they that make us do all kinds of awkward things. But
Well,
the point of this being is that when you're sitting in a car, you're both looking forward, and if you're both looking forward, you don't have to sort of share that awkward eye contact, and you can discuss difficult things.
But to get apparently,
true. Yeah.
according to psychologists, you can only discuss things to a level when you're doing that. When you are distracted with other moving things, if you are to encourage people to open up, actually putting them through that awkward moment and having them eye to eye contact, no physical distraction, no movement, no look at this, look at that, look at whatever it happens to be, to get the most out of somebody, to get somebody to focus. Physical eye to eye contact is generally the way that psychologists see is the way forward.
But with what Shazaz just said there, I think there are some conversations that might be better both looking forward. It's like, I've just bought another car, darling.
Yeah, and in your experience and my experience, that's the time to do it when you're in control of driving.
That's
when they got nowhere to go as well.
Exactly. You can pull up anywhere and open the door.
You can have that. So you've said the awkward thing. It's out, and then hopefully by the time you get home, it's not that bad after all.
It fizzled out a little bit. So in Series 14, you've done this. You've also done a motorbike.
Let me just stop you for a minute. We've got a reveal in 20 minutes. I've got to be there. Would you mind if, whilst Fuzz is answering this question, I steam into Waitrose with my phone so you can see what sarnie I'm getting and pick up a sandwich?
Go on then. That'll be interesting. Right. That'll be interesting. But I was going to say, like, are you finding it's getting more difficult because now you're taking on new challenges and unusual things like the mental health car and the bike and stuff?
No, it's just people are presenting us with more interesting scenarios. So it's. I mean, we all know that cars are not just about the cars. It's about the community. It's about the friendships you make. It's about everything. It's the places you go, the shops you go to, the bits you buy, the stuff that you put on in your garage shelves or your workshop shelves. All of those kinds of things. You've got loads of peripheral things going on around cars. So cars mean more than just the vehicle, really.
Look at the queue. Massive queue.
With interesting scenarios.
And now that you're moving into Series 14, I guess you're starting to look at Series 15. And that's going to be a bit of a landmark thing, isn't it? 15 years of Car S.O.S. That's a landmark. What an achievement.
I believe that Tim and I are already, this may be true or may not. Somebody said, we hold the record for the longest presenting team on a car show now.
That's true.
So more than
with the same presenters.
more than Wheeler Dealers, more than Top Gear, all of those kinds of things. We are the record breakers. So as long as we stay the right side of the turf.
He's gone to the toilet. We're going to watch him go to the loo now. This is going to be quite awkward.
That's right. But that could be bad. Oh yeah, he's going in there. Oh no, this is awful.
No, I'm only joking.
Mind you,
I don't need one now.
I will say that's a very clean toilet, actually.
It is very good, actually. Big up for Waitrose, and where is it?
I don't know. I don't even know where I am. I don't know where we are.
He says 20 minutes away. Maybe it's
so what's the secret of this enduring partnership? Do you have regular marriage counseling therapy sessions, or?
No, I just ignore him. I ignore him at all times. Just pretend he's not there and just carry on, and that's it.
Okay, so while he's picking his sandwich, can you also tell me about the baby Godzilla? Because that's an exciting thing. That's a rare and unusual car.
Yeah, what a car! What a car!
Baby Godzilla. Right, let me tell you.
Get me an iced tea while you're in there, please, Tim. Iced tea, lemon.
This might have got into
you can have a sausage roll.
So here you are. Shaz. Right, Godzilla. Baby Godzilla.
Yeah.
There we are. That's it. Baby Godzilla's gone. What's scary about Baby Godzilla? Nothing. Right. So, Baby Godzilla is a Nissan Sunny with a big engine.
Oh, shut your face. It's not a Nissan Sunny.
So that's what it is. It is a Nissan Sunny.
No, it's not.
If you show that car, it's not even brilliantly appointed inside. It's understated. So it actually, inside, looks like a Nissan Sunny. And feels like a Nissan Sunny. Yeah, they go a bit better, but they're not like hypercars nowadays kind of thing. They're not sort of super quick compared to a modern day car. So actually the performance although you've got all that beefy mechanical setup underneath, you never really get to enjoy it because nowadays your average Nissan Sunny would probably outperform it. So they are a lovely Nissan Sunny.
You are lucky. You are lucky. I'm in a shop where I'd be having your skin right now.
Those Nissan Sunny Supers, the engine and gearbox and transfer box look magnificent when they're out of the car. But as soon as you put them in, you can't see all the good bit. It's a shame.
Dad, you know, well, good, mate. You know how good the GTI-R is. It does own.
It's a little legend,
mate. It's an absolute legend. It's just, mate. Honestly, I'm going to be having words with him in a minute. Trust me. When this interview's done,
too late. Can't say anything, can you? You're in the shop.
Well, good luck, guys, with season 14. Thanks so much for joining me once again, and good luck with going on. And I can't wait to see what you're going to do for the landmark season 15. Honestly, that's going to be a biggie. And enjoy your eggs. Whatever that is.
That's right. Would you like to be the new presenter on Car S.O.S alongside me?
Well, if he gets food poisoning from those eggs, maybe.
Yeah, that's right. Here we go, Doritos. It's Mr. Healthy Eating. There you are.
Oh, mate. Meringue nests.
Go on. Go to the
That's what I'm talking about.
Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. This is the only comprehensive guide to car journalism and content creation. The ULEZ Files is a novel, an all-action thriller with great reviews on Amazon.
A collection of 13 short stories written over 20 years featuring cars, sci-fi, and stories about the human condition. Please buy Brown Car Guy's books available on Amazon.com or Kindle Unlimited.
Shout out time, guys. Thank you so much. Hey, if you enjoy my content, why not get involved? Buy me a coffee. You can do that at either of these links. Or if you're watching on YouTube, buy me a thanks or take out a membership. It all helps. It really does.